10 seconds.
Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Get ready to explore the world of comics, past, present, and future, with our panelists Eric Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall. And now here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
And good evening, everyone. How the heck are you? Hope you're having a great Thursday night. And the second to last Thursday night of 2021, where every new revelation is like finding a bonus track on the Yoko Ono CD. But anyway, glad you're here. Hope we can make you forget the world for at least an hour or two. And we're so happy we're going to have a very special person on who hasn't been on, we figured, in about 3 weeks. We missed him a whole lot. We've got your comments to look forward to. And whether you're watching the live or on the rerun, we appreciate you all. Thank you for showing up. And as usual, we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics for sponsoring this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. When you throw another log on the Yuletide fire, you're going to want something to read while you're watching that thing burn, right? Well, you also want a book that you look at the cover, and you don't want to toss it in that same fire because it's got an ugly cover on it. When you want a gorgeous cover, you want to contact Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics. He can do a total wraparound cover for your novel, as well as graphics that'll help you sell it on social media. And if that wasn't enough, he can also do a great trailer to help you sell your work. And if you want to see more of his work, go to the Plasma Fire Graphics page on Facebook, then go over to plasmafiregraphics.com, where you can contact Jeffrey directly and ask for his indie creator low rates. You'll be glad you hired him, and so will we. Anyway, that's Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you, because it does matter to your readers. Also want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly, and these folks are supporting us in the Rising Tide Broadcasting Network and our other ventures. We're glad to have you all, and plus many of them have their own things that they offer in return for your support, as we do ours. And if you want to check out what we're offering, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And also don't forget, we are a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Rising Tide raises all ships by Jingo. And tonight, later on at 9 p.m. Eastern, we've got Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog McKeel, and great conversation about science and nerdy stuff and all kinds of stuff you'll love listening to. And you can also participate in the conversation as well. Following that will be Dan Hollifield's Last Man Standing for more of the same, just in the wee small hours. And then tomorrow morning we start a full schedule with Never Mind the Furthermore with me at 10 o'clock, Drink of the Davies at 7, and the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. It's going to be a lot of fun, so please join us. Check out our Facebook page, and please give it a like if you would. And also check out our podcasts that are on there. Just sign up for that Facebook page, and you'll be notified of all kinds of cool stuff coming up. And I think that's all the folderol I can conjure up right now. So I'm going to unmute these wonderful gentlemen, and we are going to bring in the original Fab Four. Hello, everyone. Here we are, and here we are looking festive. I've got the special Christmas fez on. It's a thing of beauty. How are you guys tonight?
Grand.
Fantastic.
Gosh, that's swell. I like getting that Christmas spirit on and smiling at people this time of year, because a lot of people are depressed and it makes them feel bad, and it pisses them off, and some people need to be. So anyway, I'm festive. So anyway,
I like that. The just stick it to the man kind of Christmas. Sounds like a good.
I'm a child of the '60s, Brian, and so that's what we do. Smash the state right on.
Have a very spiteful Christmas, ladies.
Oh, hippies.
That's all right, my God. Oh, free love and all that. That's the stuff I didn't get. Of course, I was only about 10 years old at the time. That's a crime, even in my part of Illinois. But anyway, let's go. And
But
once
not in
again, people are
Alabama.
going, how do you get away with this stuff, Morris? How do you keep saying this stupid things and you're still not canceled yet? Because nobody's paying attention, obviously. But anyway, I hope you'll pay attention to the next hour because we've got some great comic book reviews and some total discussion. Well, yeah, good stuff. And
I don't know if they're great.
Well, I actually have one comic that actually improved this month.
Ooh.
Ooh. So it was about to get airborne if it went on much longer as it was, but as it is, it improved this month, and I'll be sure to tell everyone what it is. But first of all, let's tell everyone who we are, and let's start in the lower left-hand corner of everyone's screen here. A semi-familiar face who's been absent for far too long. Brian Rodman, welcome back, my friend. Tell everybody who you are and why you're so amazing and what that thing is in your hand.
I have no memory of this place. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be back. I am not sick. People have stopped dying for the moment, and I have returned to be able to shout wonderful comments and exclaim the amazing comic books. Oh, so good. I can't wait to talk more about it. But I'm Brian Rodman. I am the writer and illustrator of the horror fantasy comic book series Memoirs of an Angel. Also the writer and illustrator of the post-apocalyptic action comedy The Nebulizer. I am 1/3 of the 1/4. Ooh, sorry, got to get that right now. That's new. 1/4 of the Dastardly Dingoes podcast. Also 1/4 of the Comic Book Spectrum.
Did you and Chad have a baby?
We did. It's our love child, Damien Waldron, and he was born 250 pounds 3 ounces, and I have no idea how much he weighs. So there's that. But
your child being named Damien does not surprise me.
I know, right? if it becomes, all I'm saying is, if it becomes the ambassador and gets circled by ravens, look out. So, but it's good to be here. It's good to be back. And thank you all for reaching out. It's been a rough month. It's been a rough Christmas season. So all of you have helped, make it as easy as it could possibly be. But it seems to be, ending now and just in time for Christmas. It's a Christmas miracle. But seriously, thank you all for your condolences and your well wishes and your help. And I really appreciate it. And I'm glad to be back and glad to be with these knuckleheads. And also glad to be drinking some winter ale from my Viking horn that I got for Christmas.
It's not code.
Or is it?
As he takes a pull from it. But anyway, thank you, Brian. It's good to have you back, brother.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
All right. And we're also glad to have the one, the only, Santa's very elfin-like Eric S. Hawkins, the pro slayer himself. Eric, introduce yourself, huzzah and hosanna.
Well, I'm Eric S. Hawkins, the creator of the Zombie World of Oz. I'm an independent comic creator who loves comics and toys and stuff of that nature. I'm currently working on issue 4 of the Zombie World of Oz, which is coming along nicely, which we will be launching in March. Other than that, that's about it. I'm just here to enjoy the show.
We hope you do, Eric. Please leave a review when you're done. Glad to have you here, Eric. And as always, we're glad to have the gold standard himself, Mr. Clyde Hall. Clyde, tell everyone who you are, sir.
I am Clyde Hall. I am perky with a purpose for this holiday season. A self-described elder statesman of geekery. What, you may ask, are the requirements for becoming a member of this fast-growing franchise opportunity? If any of these describe you, chances are you can also qualify. If you're an independent author, fan fiction writer, award-winning audio drama scripter, cosplayer, comic book reviewer, lifelong comic book fan, movie buff, monster kid, trekker, cryptid hobbyist, vintage toy collector, tabletop RPG player, or game master, we're looking for you and your required franchising application fee. Submittable in only 42 easy and affordable installments. I am the creator of the new pulp character B-Man as a contributing writer at Stormgate Press. You can find the books that I am featured in right now, anthologies, Pulp Reality 1, 2, and 3 at www.stormgatepress.com or by going to Amazon.
Most excellent. Thank you, Clyde. As always. And remember, folks, if you are an elder ambassador for more than 4 hours, please seek medical help immediately. I'm Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, hybrid freelance author and editor, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. And I'm glad to be here, and you can catch everything I do at risingtide.pub. And we're glad to be here with all of y'all. That's how they say it in the South. And I guess we're ready to start reviews. And I know Brian wants to get that review.
I do.
You know, before the cataclysm happens, you know.
I've been waiting for a month.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that issue has gotten dusty and grown cobwebs on it. But Brian,
I think the third issue's out now.
And Brian will be reviewing that in 6 months. But anyway, so we've got some comments from our wonderful audience already. And Donna Carleen is first in the gate, settles in with puff corn and soda. Good for you. Mwah. And Carl asks the musical question, you have puff corn? And stuffs puff corn in mouth and mumbles, no. And you nearly didn't get any chocolate tonight because I was ticked that you bogarted all that puff corn. We were talking about being a child of the 60s. Bogarting is one of those things. Oh, hello, CBS crew. Well, hello, Carl. How are you this evening? And it's almost time for the show. Well, we better get this damn thing going then. And the lovely Jennifer Hawkins is here. Hello, all. Merry Christmas from the Hawkins crew. Merriest to Christmases to you guys, too. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here. And everyone's saying hello to each other. And, of course, we've got Mark Leonard. Greetings from the prairie. Mark, good to see you, my brother. Hope you're having a great night. Love to the family. And where is Miss Luna? Mr. Hawkins? Or not Mr. Hawkins.
She's
don't have a
here.
cat.
You want
Luna is right here. They're asking about you. Oh, what do I have? Something for you to play
And
with?
the cat's response is, I don't give a crap.
You cannot play with this.
He's catting on you. That's the sort of ambivalence we've come to expect from Luna. So,
Indeed.
And hail the Vikings, says Donna Carleen.
Hello. Yes.
Yes.
Look at that. Isn't it so cool?
Yeah, and I say the Vikings, whatever football team you like, have at it, you know? I'm sure that's, what she was referring to. And My
absolutely.
Sweet Luna, I remember that song. That was a George Harrison song. It was
I'm
great.
surprised you knew that was a football team.
What are you implying, Eric, that I don't know sports?
How many points are a touchdown?
The most at the
46?
end of the game. What? A touchdown is 6 points with a 1 point conversion.
1 point extra point, 2 points for a conversion.
Oh, that's true. Extra one. That's of course I wrote a play.
That was a lot closer than I thought you'd get, so I'll give you points.
Thank you. Actually, 2 points because I made the conversion. But anyway,
A touchdown is 3 home runs.
It's whoever's shoulders are pinned to the mat for a count of 25. But anyway, no, I wrote a play years ago about and it dealt with baseball, and I got a fresh one opened up on me by every member of the cast and the director, who pointed out that baseball doesn't have points.
Runs.
They have runs, yeah.
Just like me after I eat Taco Bell.
I was gonna say if I start getting the runs, it's like I make a beeline for the bathroom. So in fact, most sports affect me that way. So, and we've got let's see who we've got here. We've got somebody on YouTube. One of our bots here, and we have just blocked Waldesome Alyssa.
Ooh.
So have a nice night, Alyssa. Anyway,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You've been blocked. Anyway, so anyway, with no further ado or any other kind of condensation, let's turn to Brian Rodman for his review, his long overdue, long awaited review of, we're rehearsing for the end of it, man.
Indeed, yes.
Anyway, anyway, here is Brian Rodman. Brian, what are you reading, sir?
Well, I'm reading many things, actually, but what I have read currently, my goodness, is Acheron, the return of Mike Mignola as not just the writer and storyteller, but the artist of every page in this book. He came out of retirement because he still kind of directs all the Hellboy books. He comes up with all the stories. He hates the dialogue. He's always said that he hates writing dialogue. So he usually works with writers and artists, and he just kind of says, hey, this is what I want to happen. This is the general story. You do the dialogue, you do the art, have fun. And then he approves it. Well, this time he stepped back into the absolute control chair. He wrote it, he illustrated it, and just to get the proper credits, we have story and art by Mike Mignola, colors by Dave Stewart, letters by Clem Robbins, cover art by Mike Mignola with Dave Stewart, and the variant cover, which I do not have, is by Ben Stenbeck. And immediately, so spoiler alert, if you're trying to catch up on the Hellboy run, if you don't really know what's going on, because this is in the current timeline of Hellboy, because I know right now there's a lot of Hellboy books that are kind of filling in the blanks in the 1950s with the BPRD, and just a lot of one shot miniseries type books that really feature Hellboy and just the classic Hellboy teaming up with an agent going and fighting a demon or a monster, or fill in the blank. But this we've jumped back into after. I mean, this is after the end of the world has happened, after the world has been pieced back together, after Hellboy and Hellboy and Rasputin's final battle, and we're back in hell, and we meet up with Sir Edward Grey, who has his own prequel miniseries called Witchfinder, and he's honestly one of my favorite characters. And to find out how he becomes essentially this form right here, this guy right here, read the books, because it is a great story. But at this point in time, we catch up with him in hell after everything's kind of wrapped up with the Hellboy line, and we start to follow Edward Grey in an unfinished plot line that started in Hellboy in Hell. And we do get a little recap here. So Hellboy fought a specific monster with Edward Grey's help in Hellboy in Hell, and that monster and Edward Grey, faced off together, and we didn't really get a satisfactory ending to that little bout. So that's what this entire issue is about. This monster comes back, and essentially most of the book is just Edward Grey and this monster fighting an epic battle all throughout hell, and then Edward Grey turns into the Acheron. And I don't want to explain what that is, because I want you to go read it. But I mean, just to give you some samples of the artwork, classic Mike Mignola. Just look at that artwork. So beautiful. Absolutely love it. It's all the way through. I love his depiction of hell. And let's see, do they have? One of my favorite panels. Okay, it's not in this. I think my favorite image in Hell, in Mike Mignola's Hell, is the city of Pandemonium, where Lucifer's palace is on the lake of fire. It's so beautiful. It's talked about in this. It's referenced. It's not shown because it's gone in this timeline. But overall, it picks the story right up where it left off. It is compelling. It's well written. It gives you more of an insight to where Sir Edward Grey's character is going to go after, now that we pick this back up. This was a one-shot, but it does have a sequel one-shot, which is another character that which I don't want to ruin that, is another character that we've kind of left hanging in limbo, rather, or as it were, at the end of all of the events of Hellboy and BPRD. And we're going to find out what happens to him and where his story goes. And I imagine Sir Edward Grey's story will begin to intertwine with his as well. So, like I said, I was giddy the entire time reading this. I've read it a few times now because I've had the time. And I've just really enjoyed seeing Mike Mignola return to another good page of artwork right there. Just return to what I think he does best, and that is just his beautiful style and his art. His artwork tells the story really without words, without dialogue, which is really what you want as a comic book storyteller. Overall, as a one shot, 10 out of 10. I loved the story. I'm a sucker for Hellboy. I'm a sucker for Mike Mignola. It was a beautiful return to the artist chair for Mike, and I can't wait. I hope he comes back out of retirement again. It's like Hayao Miyazaki. The man retires every year. And I hope he comes back and does more work, more one shots like this, because this was fantastic. Go get it. You don't really need, you need to, they summarize everything you need to know in this to enjoy the story. So you don't have to have read all of the Hellboy books. You don't have to have read 25 years worth of comics to appreciate this. It really does stand on its own. Obviously you will enjoy it a lot more if you do know the history behind it. But if you've caught up or almost caught up, go get this, because it's beautiful. It's great. Like I said, 10 out of 10. Absolutely would recommend. Treat yourself for Christmas. Go get this book at your local comic book store.
There you go. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Now, you say that Mike Mignola had retired. Did he formally announce that, or is it just that he's busy doing other things like being amazing?
So he said a while back that he was retiring doing artwork for Hellboy.
Okay.
Like he was going to do some covers. He's always done covers. He's always doing, a couple panels here and there, but he hasn't done an entire issue front to back in years.
Nice.
Even for like his new Baltimore spinoff series stuff, he's not doing the artwork for it. So, in the illustrated novels, he draws some of the illustrations, but as far as comic book art, he doesn't really do it anymore.
Interesting.
So, and I think a lot of it's because he's kind of turned into the director chair, really. He's working with writers and artists, and he's more interested in coming up with the story than anything else.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Mignola, if you're watching, the four of us are available.
Yes.
To do some work. So just saying, and I work cheap. Okay.
I don't normally collaborate, but if Mike Mignola calls me in a heartbeat, boom, I'm there.
There you
I don't
go.
care. I'll do it for free. I never say that. That is one person. I will, Eric. If Mike Mignola called me up and was like, I want you to do this, but I can't pay you. I'll say, okay.
I would say bullshit. You can't pay me.
No, I don't care. I don't care. Let me tell you, this is why. Because if it's Mike Mignola, thousands of people are going to see it. It's not these like nobodies that are like, oh,
and they're going to say, "Where's Mike Mignola?"
But guess what? They saw me instead. Somebody's going to stick. Somebody's
right.
going to stick. So yeah,
That's
I
right.
won't work for
preferably
free.
not free.
I won't work for free, but I will work for props.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Give me some Hellboy movie props.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
I like that.
comps.
I retract my previous statement. I agree with Clyde.
or wholesale issues, issues
Yeah.
at wholesale that I will sell at retail plus. So because I'm a mercenary. So anyway, and yes, I did get to the bad bot before you did, Carl. My cursor just happened to be there. So, but thank you for your vigilance, and thank you, Brian Rodman, for your review. That was awesome.
Thanks.
That was cool. And yeah, that's right. Clear your throat, Eric, because you're up next. What is the Pro Slayer reading this week?
I don't know. I bought a bunch of books between last week and this week because I went on last week, and
Right.
this one I will review. This one was just weird and very too manga for me.
Okay. From
No holds
Behemoth?
too bar. No, I think it's no holds too barred, but I think it's just no holds barred. But
Oh, okay.
bad fonts. I started reading Moon Knight number 6, but apparently I didn't read number 5, so I didn't know what was going on.
Oh,
I was like, "Well, I don't remember this," and I am a few issues behind on Two Moons because it just recently started coming out again, so I get caught back up on that.
Ooh, nice.
And Rush, I remember liking the Rush number 1, but I don't remember what happened in number 1. I got it confused with a different book, I think, which has a very similar Western theme to it. And I started reading this one. This is not what I remember. So I said, I vaguely remember something about this one. So I did pick up Rush number 2, and it's progressing nicely. And oh my God, was that Colin Bunn? No.
I was going to say, do I have to look it up on the web?
No, you do not. So I did pick up. I'm going to get my glasses out again because I can't read.
Old.
So this one is written by Christopher Cantwell and illustrated by Luca Casalanguida and colored by Giada Marchiazzo and lettered by Andworld Design. That's all one word, though. I was like, well. So this is regarding the matter of Oswald's body number 2.
yes.
Nice.
All right.
So, and I almost forgot what happened in the first one of this, but then I remembered that some guy had got together to gather all these people to find a look-alike Oswald for their mission. And because apparently Oswald's body is not in, possibly not in the grave. It's a imposter. So, and that's kind of what this story goes through. This is them hunting down the person to look like Oswald, and they find this drunk at a bar. They go find his name, and they go to kidnap him. And then, so their boss tells them that they need to. Okay, you got him kidnapped. I need you to do one more thing for me. You need to shoot him point blank in the gut, just below the ribs on the left side.
Oh my God.
That's
And they're like,
specific.
what? Well, that's where Oswald was shot by a Ruby.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
So this guy has to mimic that. Well, while they're talking to the boss and arguing whether they should do this or not, the guy escapes.
Oops.
And they have to go get him. And during all this time, it's the day of the murder, apparently, because they hear on the radio right after they do recapture the guy, and they find out that the president has been shot. And just like the previous book, this one, I really like the story because it was a conspiracy I'd never heard of before. And apparently it is kind of popular nowadays, but I dig the little street maps and the routes of the procession. No, is it a procession or what do you call a caravan? No. Well, however, Kennedy was going through his route.
Yeah, Caravan.
But you have slightly muted colors, which are really nice. And there, obviously, you have a sound effect.
All right.
And and I'm trying to find an ad. No, not to the very end. You get an ad, but you also get some more routes or more maps for the routes. But even the cars for the era are drawn very nicely. The art is cool. There's a lot of expressions on the face, which sometimes people don't do too well of, especially me. And you do get a glimpse of Oswald. I'm pretty sure in here they give him the main guy that gathered all these guys together gives a guy a rifle to go shoot someone. And I'm pretty sure that's Oswald in the shadows. He gave it to. But here's the Oswald look like. While they're contemplating out in their car whether they should actually go kidnap him or not, they're blaring the radio, and he comes out and hears them. And you get more sound effects from that too.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a cool, interesting story. I mean, is it my favorite? No, but I mean, at least this one I remembered pretty much what was going on in the first issue. And which made me pause after I started reading Rush too. I was like, maybe I should be buying this if I can't remember what was going on. Motorcade. Carl got it.
Thank you, Carl Witzman.
I knew everything that was going through my head was not correct.
I blanked out on it too, Eric, so don't feel bad.
I just ran with Caravan. I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
I was like, well, maybe Caravan is right. Now, here's a pretty interesting part. When they're trying to figure out who this guy is, what's his name, so they can go kidnap him, they have to, some of them have to go in the bar this guy just got thrown out of. And I believe this guy's name is Sonny Germ. I believe that was it. Yeah. Sonny Germ. So
Great.
The Yellow Rose, I'm not going in that bar. I'm not going in there. That's a white people bar. And of course, the I believe he's a Mexican.
He's Hispanic. Yeah.
Hispanic. Yeah. I'm not going in there either. So they send the gay guy and the cowboy. And
who else would you send?
Well, one of them starts playing the gay guy starts playing Johnny Mathis on the jukebox, and that upsets the patrons of the bar until they decide to get in a fight.
Chances are.
I was like, I thought everybody liked Johnny Mathis. Uh-oh.
I love Johnny Mathis.
Yeah, but the art is still good. I mean, it's an interesting story. I like where it's going, and not to spoil it, but they did kidnap the guy again after he escaped, and they didn't have to shoot him themselves, so they don't feel bad about that. But I'm pretty sure that as many things as this guy keeps asking them to do, and upping how much he's going to pay them from like $4,000 to $10,000 to, oh, you do one more thing. Okay, we're all done. Okay, I'm going to kill you all now. That's what's going to happen. That's where I'm predicting the story to go.
Place your bets, kids.
Actually, I'm I give it a 7 out of 10 because I like it, but it's not the best story I ever read, but it's good. But there was something I wanted to show you guys in Rush real quick. It was almost a sound effect. Well, there's a sound effect, but in this bottom panel here, everybody's spitting, spit. I was like, do you have to put that on every single one of them?
Yes.
This one, I believe, had no ads at all in it.
Oh, wow.
Except for the back cover, which is a preview of the next issue. Which it seems to be a very good horror book. The girl is looking for her son, who's presumably dead. They even told her that they buried him. But there's other stuff going on. I really got to go back to issue 1 to really figure out what's going on there because I cannot remember it at all. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for regarding the matter of Oswald's body by Boom Studios. Now there is some cursing in it, so if you're a kid or you have kids and you're buying comics, maybe this isn't the one for them. Like I mean, here's a Well, that's a horrible page for a splash.
And to think somebody probably got paid for that too.
I think somebody phoned something in right there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel like drawing today. I'll just do a Post-it note.
They probably didn't even draw it. They tore it off the legal pad. Hey, scan this for me, will you?
Yeah, really.
Is that written by Bendis?
No, it's not Bendis. It's not Bendis at all. But yep, that's shout out Tim for that one. And go buy it if you like Kennedy stuff, you like conspiracies. I think you will like it. I'm sure Clyde's already read it.
I have, and he's doing a good job of making the characters, the supporting cast, interesting. And I love,
and they all have their own personalities. He sticks with it. Yeah,
he does, and I love the fact that hey, there's one more unseemly detail we need you to handle, but we will pay you this much more. And I forgot to tell you, we need you to go ahead and murder this guy, but we'll pay you more. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm going. Yeah, can only end. After you keep promising more and more, it can only end with most of them being deceased. I mean, you don't want anybody to know the secrets anyway. But
and he's already involved because he's been with Jack Ruby. They show him with Jack Ruby. They show him with Oswald.
Yeah,
and I did like his conversation with Yellow Rose about the I guess it was the second time he upped the money. I'm going to give you guys a few thousand extra. Well, what's a few?
It's a few, yeah.
Because a few. Or maybe he said a couple, and she said, "Well, that's like 2. Well, I'm gonna give you 4."
Yeah, that was It's sort of like that's also an indicator of I'm going to dangle this carrot, and you guys you're so desperate you're gonna chomp on it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I want details. Fine, okay, 4,000. How about that? Oh yeah, okay. I mean, it's just They're not meant to live to see tomorrow after they get done with all their
they
stuff.
did all kind of drew the line at really shooting the guy, though. They weren't really too excited about it, even for $10,000, which I might have myself. No. I mean, just in the gut, below the rib, sure. Why not?
That's right. He can be bought, folks. Keep that in mind.
That's right. Yeah. And then before Eric has just watched, he just shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. So, his price has gone up considerably.
Straight from Folsom Prison. You heard it yourself, folks.
That's right, kids.
Mm-hmm. I'm the man in black. And red.
And red and white. Yes.
And now Pro Slayer Hawkins does his version of Hurt.
I love that song.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I love both versions. They're both amazing.
Yeah, but the Johnny Cash one, when they used it for the first Red Band Logan trailer.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They
powerful.
From note one, you've got my complete attention on this trailer, and I don't know how many times I watched it.
And the movie lived up to that tone too.
It did. It really did.
So much.
So good. So good.
As did Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now, Lynn has a very good point out here. Getting rid of them is way more important, which, just drain the body in the tub.
That's true.
And then you slice it up. There won't be any splattering and stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
No.
Follow us for more life hacks.
Well, actually, if you wait long enough, the blood will actually just kind of all seep to the bottom of the body. And then just chop them up in the bathtub, so you don't have to drain it. Yeah.
Well, that's true, but the blood will. Speaking as a former pathology student, the blood will come out. It will congealed a little bit, but you definitely want to chop it up fine and possibly use something like quicklime to dissolve as much of it as possible.
Yeah, put those power tools to work. By the way,
Hog Farm. A meat store, put it in the grinder and sell it.
Hog Farm.
Hog Farm.
Yeah. Hog Farm. That is
That is the ultimate repurposing. See,
you take them to use pigs and Swinge and Lake.
That's right. So, any of you is anyone having ham this year for Christmas dinner? Yeah, this is
Guess again.
Say we were, but
you're having the long pork, aren't you?
Yeah. Ooh. Anyway, we've got some more comments. First of all, thank you very much, Eric. That was awesome. Yes, we must applaud.
Oh, thanks.
I kind of thought.
It's really hard to find something I got into this week, and that ended up being it. And because everything else was like, oh man, I got to go back and read this. I got to go back and read this because I just don't remember. Obviously, I missed this one, but the Rush was the most disappointing for me because I couldn't remember. I got it mixed up with another book. I don't remember which one. I thought that was the second book I had read that had Jack the Ripper in it, but that's a different book, and I got to figure out which one that one was.
Hashtag real reviewer problems.
Yeah.
Oh, so anyway, let's say hello to my evil Lynn Bush. Mwah. Hi guys, how are you, darling? And Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt, who was on Ethan Van Sciver's show a few nights ago. Way to move up in the world. Pop's gonna get too good to talk to us. And then Paul Bush, good to see you here, my friend. And of course, he asks the musical question: where is the next issue of Zombiful World of Oz?
We launched March 10th. Hey, I'll tell you what. If Brian's kind enough, I'll show a page.
Do it.
Do I still have it up? Yeah.
That's what she said.
Let me. Never been the issue, Brian. Window. Let me turn off the rulers. Where's the rulers? Is view.
So even in the Christmas episode, can't stay clean.
This is a splash page. I believe it's page 22.
Okay.
And let me share this real quick. I just finished this today. So.
Alrighty. Good. I get to play with some new buttons here on StreamYard then. There it is. Okay, here we go. Add to stream. And let's just fill the page with this wonderful. That is.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. That is lovely, dude.
Thank you. So this is Dorothy coming out to talk to the Tin Man after they've recently been in a battle, as you can see by the axe there. There's some gunk hanging from it. I thought I was inspired by the Wolverine Origin story from a cover, but I'm thinking it might have been a Max issue that kind of gave me this image. Because then I kind of remember the Max issue having a similar image. So I don't know, but I really liked it. Him sitting in the grass kind of, because he had to do something he wasn't too proud of, and he's feeling kind of bad, and she comes out to console him and ask about what it was all about. And that's when they go into the story of how he got his original heart back.
Wow, that is really sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, and here's a new feature of StreamYard. We can be there. We can be there. We can be everywhere.
We can be everywhere.
That's right.
Omnipresent.
Thank you, Eric. That was gorgeous. That was seriously nice.
Thank you.
So anyway, Paul, I hope that will hold you over. If not, Eric will be offering that as an NFT later. And everyone's saying hello to each other. And
I am actually looking into the NFTs. I've got my idea for my my NFT business there. I got a plan.
I have a couple too. When you learn, I would like to pick your brain when you're done, because I have some ideas too. And
oh my gosh! I saw really quick. I saw a quote the other day. It was a meme. It said if the Crypt Keeper is not involved in the cryptocurrency, I don't want to know anything about it. And I think that it absolutely encompasses my interest or lack thereof.
My idea is cryptozoology. Cryptids.
Awesome.
Crypto cryptids critters. Crypto cryptic critters.
See, now I don't understand what's happening anymore. Are we talking about money? We're talking about monsters. We're talking about monsters making money. What's going on?
And I'm on money board. And monsters.
Monsters made of money.
Oh my gosh! I think that's
marvelous.
the thing.
Pluck it right off.
Wait, I think money is a monster. Is that maybe?
If money is a monster, it can terrorize my village anytime it wants. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to pick your brain about that because I'd like to learn more about it. Okay. Lynn Bush says, "Hey there, Carl was about to give you grief for not saying hi to Paul, not me. It's because of the blonde hair, isn't it?" Carl, Carl doesn't have any blonde hair. I'm not sure he has much hair at all, and he's kicking out spammer. You're doing the Lord's work, Carl. Thank you. And talking to you, Lynn, is very important, my evil Lynn. And Ryan Permisson, happy holidays to you. Thank you very much for being here. Happy Festivus, everyone. And welcome back, Rodman. We miss you,
Festivus for the rest of us.
Good to be here.
Yes. I am going to air my grievances.
That's right.
I have a lot of issues with you people, and now you're going to hear about it.
Yeah, right. Remember who's got the director's chair. Anyway,
No, it's from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
oh, okay. I've only watched like a handful of episodes of Seinfeld. I like it, but it wasn't one of those series that said I've got to be there.
Oh,
Now I have
Seinfeld.
watched the Terry Hatcher episode more than once, though. Oddly enough, I know you're surprised. I did wait till
So
you guys
surprised.
were sitting down.
So
And what
surprised.
lovely topics we get into on this show. That's right. And sometimes we talk about comics too. And I'm gonna put a star by your comment there, Ryan, because I think that'd be a good comment for the end of the show. Now, Carl, I was thinking the same thing. What did I start? And from the desk of a small press publisher, Jody McPhee, my brother, how are you doing tonight? Hope all is well. Thank you for filling in for various members of this assemblage here at one point or another. And we will have you back, I promise. And also, check
and
out
Joe, don't let me forget. I need to talk to you about next Tuesday, buddy. To be on the crossover event episode.
That's right. You're part of it, brother. You're part of it. Excellent. And I'm looking forward to that. So please tune in this coming Tuesday on the Dastardly Dingoes channels and part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And please check out what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. So there, we have declared it. And Lynn Bush is going to blame Paul. And hey. And what's up, CBS crew? Most of us. And here we go. From this was Small Press Publisher, Saturday nights at 10 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. I'm Rudolph, and I can play in the reindeer games. You tell them. Let no one exclude you. And Ryan Permisson says, Ultimate Challenge. BKM, Rodman, Nash, and Hayes, all on my show with me being the terrible ringleader. The first 48-hour episode.
Oh, may God have mercy on your show.
Wow.
Oh, man. I mean, that would be one... and I'm probably, of the four of us, I may be the least talkative, but not by much. No, I'm not. I take it back. I'm definitely behind Bobby Nash. I am behind Bobby Nash, but
I think everyone's behind Bobby Nash.
if he weren't so damn fascinating, that's the problem. And he's like that in person. I actually met hhim at HalloCon in October. He was kind enough to drive up from Atlanta to Dalton, Georgia, and say hello to us. I was so, and I was just knocked out. Had a great time hanging out with him. And please do, says Paul Bush. And Lynn says you just made his day. I can guarantee it. That is awesome. That's what we're here for, Lynn. And thank you, Ryan Permisson, for sharing this. Please, if you like what you've seen so far, or have any plans to like this in the immediate or far distant future, please give it a like on Facebook. Please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, please do all. We would love it. And anyway, working on some Archie sketch cards as I watch. Well, cool.
Archie or Riverdale?
Oh, good point.
Or Sabrina.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, Paul Bush said that is great. He's a happy boy. And my favorite two in the book. Jody McPhee says it is more the Max than Wolverine, Eric.
That's what I thought, because I've got multiple copies of that Wolverine series, hardback, softback, all the single issues. I kept looking through them. I was like, I kind of looking for some reference because I kind of imagined I thought I saw that in that book. Then today, when I was finishing up the page, I was outside smoking. I was like, you know what? I think it was in a Max book I saw that. Now I gotta go try to look at that. Yeah. I'm already done with the page now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it looks vaguely. The pose looks vaguely familiar.
Yeah, because I think he was sitting down on a hill or something, and
like a cover.
And that girl was with him. I can't remember her name. The little blonde girl, but she had a spear for some reason, and she was in like a leopard skin bikini or something at the time.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing now, but who knows?
And she may not have been there, but Eric's just simply thinking of a young girl in his,
actually, no,
bikini.
Max, he might not have been there.
That's true. And Paul Bush says, thanks, man. Made him happy.
No problem.
And Lynn Bush has done all of the above, I bet. And Archie, not new school Riverdale, and I'm thinking about Josie and the Pussycats.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm thinking about Josie and the Pussycats. Bye, everyone. It's been a good show. Anyway, thank you, Eric. And now I will take the next shift here, so everybody can go to the bathroom for 10 minutes. Anyway, glad you're here, folks. And,
don't tempt me.
Oh yeah, really. And yeah, you're gonna stop. At least you stay in the frame while you're on the air. Unlike some people, by the way, please buy the Hail Pail give someone the gift of comfort this Christmas. Order your Hail Pail and your pod catheter from Rising Tide Industries. Operators are standing by now. How much would you pay? Anyway, I picked up 4 books this week. I thought I was only going to get 3, but one of them was delayed for about 2 weeks. Don't know why, don't care, because I got it. And it turned out it's one of my favorite titles. But let's go up the line here. The first one I want to talk about is Batman versus Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham. It's part of the DC Black Label. This is issue number 4. By Will Willingham, Brian Level, Jay Leinstein, and Lee Logrich. This is the book I mentioned earlier that has improved.
That's nice.
Yeah,
good.
seriously. I was... I mean, the art has been nice all throughout. There is a lot of great artwork in here. Still haven't wrapped my head around the school for Robins yet. But
well, why is the main villain from Roger Rabbit on the front? The judge.
Yeah. Well, you see, if you remember the old 1960s, and look, Eric.
Ooh, boom.
Ooh, that's
big
awesome.
Boom. That's you see, now we talked about Checkmate having some double page splashes where nothing got done, right? Didn't really advance the story. This is how a double page spread is to be used. Big event, big boom. Anyway, they have the usual fight here between Bigby and Batman. Batman kind of wins. And then they come to terms with how they're approaching. They explain why Bigby is in Gotham, and it turns out that there was a mishap in the land of fables, and a book passed from their dimension to ours, or to the DC universe, and now he is after it. And this book is what the dialogue is crisp. The artwork is beautiful. I love the idea that Bookworm is getting into this place by disguising himself as an exterminator for Kafka pest control. Yeah, people that read real books will get that. Anyway, but yeah, and then there's a great conflict in here. Great dialogue, like when they're pulling these little devices out that are supposed to help them with this heist, and the Bookworm has led them in, played by Ryan McDowell, the original Batman 66. But anyway, they're looking at him going, when did we start believing in Hocus Pocus, boss? And his reply is, when I told you to.
Yep, that sounds like Batman.
That's good. That's good stuff there. And now I'm not going to reveal the end. It's a great cliffhanger. There's 2 more issues to go. But finally, I'm excited about this book. I'm finally enjoying it. So this one is a clear. I think I've given the others pretty low marks. I'm going to give this an 8.5. It is really good. It just took a long time to get where it needed to be.
Yeah, the first issue was rough.
Yeah, it was. It really was. And it didn't really go into why. I think it would have been better if they'd explained why he was there, set up the mystery a little better, explain more about Bigby to people who are not familiar with fables. Right. That's been one of my bugaboos. Yeah. I admit, comics that don't bring the first-time reader up to speed.
I like that word that you just said.
Which, bugaboo?
Bugaboo. That is awesome.
Thank you.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, really? Well, This is truly the learning place. We're glad we can play a part in your education, young man.
Rainbow.
Me and LeVar Burton, we keep getting confused all the time. Anyway, the next book is Justice League Incarnate, which continues the Infinite Frontier storyline. And, oh yes, that's a Gary Frank cover on it, which explains its intrinsic loveliness. And in this one, the Justice League Incarnate have gone to a dimension where magic reigns, and they wind up going into a bar filled with alternate world versions of many of the DC characters, such as this is what Clyde will get this one. Stanley and his monster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And next to him is the Green Lantern, the Hal Jordan iteration of the Spectre.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You see Baron Winters in here, Blue Devil, Cain and Abel from the House of Mystery, House of Secrets,
That's
Raven
cool.
from the Teen Titans. Now, the one character in front here, believe it or not, in the red cloak, I thought it was Trickster when I first saw it. His name is the Hellblazer. And they have to go into a bar, and Captain Carrot is nervous because he's in a room full of magicians, and he's like, every time I go into someplace like this, they always try to pull me out of a hat or cut me open. It's funny stuff, and with the sequence being drawn by Kyle Holtz, who hasn't done a lot of comics work.
No, but he's a really good artist.
He's fantastic, and especially
for dark, detailed stuff.
Yeah, and this is great. I found also he designs tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I went to a tattoo parlor, when I got my Superman here, and they had some they had some designs on the wall, and they credited Kyle Holtz, and I'm like, okay, I can see it. But yeah, it's beautiful, and there's a wonderful spot here where, and of course, Etrigan shows up, and the character Fate from the 90s. That's there's another trip down memory lane. But they have to get into this room to see this sorceress named Anataz. Spell it backwards.
Yeah.
And the password to get into the room is, let's see if I can find it here real fast. But anyway, it is Vertigo backwards.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. And then they go into other things like a huge fight with an alternate world, Darkseid and his foe, with the Monitor and all kinds of cool people happening here. And this Darkseid has a grandfather box.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool concepts in here. Great characters, crisp dialogue, wonderful art, even though it's split up between about 4 or 5 people. Kyle Holtz is worth the price of admission, though. And I'm giving this a 9.5 out of 10. It is really, really, really fun. And now my two of my favorite comics came out this week. This is the one that was late, Impossible Jones from Scout Comics. Like I say, I have not been real thrilled with a lot of what Scouts put out,
Yeah.
But this one is an exception. Of course, it's written by and inked by Carl Kessel, who has done a lot of writing for DC and Marvel, helped create the Con-El version of Superboy. Artwork by David Hahn, really lovely, clean work. And it continues the story of how Impossible Jones escaped from a laboratory, found herself filled with powers of stretching. And at one point, she knocks out a guard and picks up his body and then molds herself to the back. And when they come by, it's like, where'd he go? Doesn't say a word, just points. Uses the, it's
Nice.
genius stuff. And you see the internal dialogue in her head. That's a lot of fun as she's discovering her powers and her costume shrinking. Tune in for that one. Boys and girls. And so, she's contemplating her escape and goes, not the water. We're not going to swim again. Next time I'm near, we'll lick with that cold. It better be in a tiki glass with a little umbrella. And then we meet some other people who may be with that organization, wondering why they got experimented on. Lots of great dialogue, a great showdown with somebody who may know what they're doing. And 2 pages of 2? Is it just 2? Yeah, just 2 pages of advertising in here for Scout Comics. DC did have the Arnold Schwarzenegger ad from last week, and most of the ads were not Batman related. And then I know, heresy. I think it has to do with the bringing back the equal time doctrine. So they have to have some non-Batman stuff in there. But anyway, and then there's one page by the creative crew talking about part of the characters. And then, of course, there's the back page with the UPC. This one is a fun read. It is super stuff. And I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. The first issue was out about a little over 2 months ago. This just came out. pick it up, folks. It is good if you like old time, fast paced adventure. This is the book for you. Impossible Jones, lots of good stuff. Now here's
Does she got 3 arms inside the book?
No, but she's still learning her powers.
Yeah, I noticed that on the cover. I was like, "There's 3 arms there."
Yeah, so it's all part of the goodness to come. Now, this is the book that I think if I gave this to Brian, this would probably punch him right in the feels. And
good.
it's the 6th out of 8. There's 2 more issues to go. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and look who's on the cover. Comet, the super horse.
Look at him.
I know.
He's so majestic.
He is.
It'd look better if he was a skeleton.
Well, you see, they try to make him one because they, in this issue, they catch up with Krem, the guy who shot Supergirl's friend or killed Supergirl's friend's friend, and also wounded her dog. And they catch up with him again. And he starts to hurl another Mordru globe at her. And if you remember an issue or 2 ago, she barely survived the first time. Second one, he sure won't happen. So Supergirl, being Supergirl, as you see in that next to last panel, uses her super speed and basically tries to outrun the Mordru globe. Well, of course, she's only a humanoid, right? What's the only animal that's faster than a human?
Yes.
Oh, and then it becomes a race between Comet and the Mordru globe. Good stuff. Good stuff. And as the thing goes through, as it ensues, Supergirl's having flashbacks to Krypton, where she watches the planet die around her. But Argo City survives as a chunk in space. But as they get into a yellow sun area, the ground below them turns into kryptonite. And so Supergirl is one of the volunteers who, as fast as her father can make the lead shielding that will protect them, she's out there laying it down and securing it. And the dialogue runs in counterpoint to the art, talking about she remembers a tree from Krypton of red and blue leaves. And then she thinks about Krypton, where after about 24 hours, the people who haven't died on Krypton are still laying down the lead. And when blisters form on one hand, she switches to the other. Soon everybody has fallen, and she keeps pressing on until the last sheet is down. And meanwhile, Comet's still moving and flying across the galaxy, and then talking about a day when the dome of Argo City is pierced by meteorites and piercing the lead shielding. And they can't fix the dome fast enough. So, of course, Kara Zor-El, her uncle was Jor-El, who had this crazy idea about spaceships that her father adapts, figures out how much food and water to put into the thing, and uses his brother's logistics to figure out where Kal-El went in the hopes that she can protect him. But because of warp space being what it is, he gets there first to Earth. How does this end? Well, we've got 2 more issues to go, so that should tell you something.
Well, I guess I need to get that. That's amazing.
It's been a fantastic read, and the thing about Argo City, while it's a little more detailed, does fit into classic Supergirl history. Tom King wrote this. He knows his stuff. I like seeing him on shorter runs, like 6 to 12 issues. I think he does his best work there with a little bit more, I guess you could say with a little more constraints on him. He seems to rise to the challenge. The artwork is lovely, very non-traditional comic book art. This has been the same person ever since. Let me make sure I get this right. Let's see. Oh, it's in the front this time. It's Tom King and Bilquis Evely, and Matthias Lopez is the colorist. It is beautiful work. It is very mature, and the ending, basically reading the dialogue alone will move you to tears. It is beautiful, and it's one of the first times I can remember it's explored survivor guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful story. Looking forward to the next few issues. Wish Tom King would do a sequel real soon. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. This is awesome. This is a comic that lives beyond whatever hype was given to it. It is an excellent book, and everyone should, if you don't get the regular issues, definitely wait for the trade paperback. It is that good.
I'm glad he's doing some good psychology work again.
Yeah.
Because he kind of let me down, and then he's doing that, and he's also doing the noir version of DOA for comics with the Human Target.
Right.
That is also beautifully illustrated, and I watched DOA again the other day to see if he's really like copying it, and he's not. He's going his own direction with it, so kudos for that. The only thing is, DOA is a noir. I'm just wondering if he will carry through on the noir tradition in the way that the DOA storyline goes, or it's comics. DOA is real debatable. Even if there's a DOA, there's like resurrection on the horizon usually. So it kind of takes a little bit of the, This character is, he's supposed to be fatally wounded. Maybe. But the whole story hinges on him being fatally wounded. So I don't know, but
yeah. But anyway, we've got comments, and Carl Wisman appreciates the Kafka remark there. By the way, there is a wonderful film that you can find on YouTube with God, I just blanked out his name, but he played the Great Intelligence on Doctor Who a few years ago. You'll say it and I'll remember it instantly. But anyway, it's based on the Kafka legend about the cockroach and everything, and it was directed by Peter Capaldi of Doctor Who fame, and he won an Academy Award for the short film. So anyway, DC finally listened to me, says Joe D. McPhee, and it's about time, right? Seriously. And from this Small Press Publisher, Eric, did you see last week's episode? If so, what did you think of the mystery box?
Eric cheated. He wrote a comment instead.
I've already answered this question. No,
there we go.
I was driving home, and I only caught the end of the show. I haven't gone back and watched the whole thing yet.
Well, Eric Hawkins, who's also sitting in our audience, apparently, says, I missed the mystery box. Who is here then? I didn't catch the end of the show on my way home, though. I'll have to go back and watch the rest of it.
Eric has successfully cloned himself, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how it's done.
I actually did put the show on because I saw you guys were still on as I was driving home last week.
There you go. So, and remember, folks, be sure to drive safely by watching our show. Anyway, you go. And my favorite phrase from this review, laying down the lead. Okay, there we go. And better than laying pipe, I guess. Nothing's better. And Jody McPhee says, I did pick up Daisy, Eric. It was better that you made. And Lynn says, Eric is...
remember it? I can't remember anything I'm reading lately.
Well, maybe we should, Eric. What is your favorite phrase from this review?
My favorite phrase is "Old Monroe."
Oh, that looks good. I saw
made in Illinois with Illinois ingredients.
Oh dear
with
God!
Real people that lived in Illinois.
Yeah.
Soylent Green, its first alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, and I'm thinking you had me till you said it was made in Illinois, and I'm like,
a family-owned farm. All the oats and wheats and everything, all the ingredients are grown there in Waterloo, and I believe it's distilled in Columbia.
Do they?
I know where Waterloo is. Yeah,
just north of Redmond.
Pigs at this farm.
Yeah. Sorry, Brian?
Do they have pigs at this farm?
With a name like Stumpy's, I bet they do.
Sounds about right.
And Stumpy's has no enemies. Anyway, but no, I remember Waterloo. I think it's on Route 3 as you go between East St. Louis and Belleville, and on the way to Chester. That's where I.
It is on the way to Chester. Yes.
Mm-hmm. The home of Popeye the Sailor Man. So anyway, and Carl Whistle says that explains why he can't recall anything.
This Stumpy's Old Monroe made in Monroe County. Pecan pie flavored whiskey is great in coffee and really good in hot chocolate. Oh my god.
Ooh. I think I need to make a trip to Waterloo in the immediate future. That sounds good. So anyway, thank you, Brian, for that review. And yay me. Anyway,
like, what?
What the hell? Is Brian been getting into my pecan flavored whiskey again? What the hell's going on here?
Or if you don't like pecan flavored whiskey, try Mr. Black. Oh, that's empty. I'll have to get another bottle.
Apparently, Eric has tried Mr. Black.
Oh, I bought another bottle
into that than what I said, kids. Oh, and now we need someone who can save us, and that can only be Clyde Hall, contributing writer at Stormgate Press.
Woohoo!
Where are the rails, Clyde? We have no clue.
Let me consult with my festive Shakespeare bust here.
I was noticing him. He's a TV celebrity, isn't he?
Yes.
Does the head flip open on that?
Is there a button that reveals a cave underneath your house?
Oh my god!
Oh yeah!
No way!
Oh my god! Yes.
Yes, way.
So cool.
Hey, when you do readings with the Shakespeare group online, having a bust or a backdrop of Shakespeare is traditional. They have their kind, I have my kind. So this week,
Batman.
This week, well, for one thing, going back a week, I got this based on recommendation from Brian Rodman. Brian, have you read this yet?
I have not read it yet. I haven't picked it up yet, actually. It's just but it's waiting for me.
It kind of has a True Blood vibe about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to see as far as the situation of the future as described. And I think I'll be getting it at least a few more issues just to see where Boom is taking this. Yeah. Because it's interesting to me. I don't, from the initial reviews that I read, it didn't look like it was going over real big. It's either one of those things that you like or you really, 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 really don't. I think a lot of the fans are having trouble with the idea of reimagining it, whether it's a future or a more modern take on Buffy. And I don't know that they were really too much in favor of it, at least not initially. Now, I haven't looked at those can change. The first ones that drop sometimes are negative and then they get better. But
I say people are also negative Nancy's. So
true.
The interwebs.
True.
Yeah.
I blame me. But anyway,
let's all join in blaming Clyde.
Yeah, yes. I blame Clyde too.
Yeah. This came out this week, and it's a company that I don't normally buy things from, Americana Mythology Productions. But it takes up right after the 1980 first Fright Night movie.
Ooh, okay.
Cool. And I really like that version of Fright Night. I like both of them, but I like that one a lot. And I wanted to see where they would go with it. And they did not include anything from the second movie, although the storyline is a lot like the second movie so far. So I'm not sure. I'll probably get at least one more issue to see. It's kind of uneven. A little disappointed, but it does have an interesting. Peter Vincent Vampire Killer has written a book based on the happenings in the first movie, but it's a fictional book because, of course, that was a serial killer. That was Jerry Dandridge was a serial killer, and I don't know. a fictionalized version of a serial killer within a year or so after it happens. I don't know. It has some issues like that where you go, really? Would they do that? Does that make sense? But this is an interesting read that is kind of out there, but I expected that it would be. It's a Black Mask book, but this line from it, which is part of its solicit, isn't making art, just proudly showing your scars to the world.
Mm.
It's called Hecate's Will. And it's about a street artist who does guerrilla graffiti artwork, and her final project before she dies. It's really, like I said, it's out there. It is the furthest you can get from a cape and cowl kind of book, but I really did like the first issue. I want to see where they take these characters and where it goes. But if you remember the movie, and now I can't think of it.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
movie.
Oh gosh, it was.
Who's in it, Clyde?
Well, not a lot of big names.
The aphasia is strong in this crowd tonight.
Tom Berenger. It was one of his first starring roles.
Oh.
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
This is
Not the
kind
sequel,
of
but the first one.
the first one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is kind of a modern guerrilla artist take on trying to emulate that. I have made my statement and now I will die. But will I?
Okay.
So one book that I've been right on the rail about enough that I have not reviewed it is Chicken Devil. I really looked forward to it, and then when it came out, I was very confused by it. With issue 3, I am no longer confused, and I'm pretty tickled with it.
I almost picked that one up. I saw the cover.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. It's been a very different kind of read. It's sort of a cross between Breaking Bad and The Punisher with a very dark sense of humor.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I will probably, this is from Aftershock. Probably next week I will catch us up with issue 3 and give a heads up about the first 2. Now, if you want to see something unusual, I did a review of the Nightwing Annual a few weeks ago. Nightwing 87 dropped, and it is very experimental. I would not want to see every comic done this way, but Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo have done something. They're very good on this title. I've really enjoyed it. And now they've done something kind of gimmicky in a good way, though. Every panel, every page is like part of a long tapestry.
Ooh, I like that.
I heard about this. Yeah.
Yes, to tell the story. And it's a very simple story, but a very good one. And you follow the action all through, and it changes its setting, but it never takes a break. It's sort of like one long camera shot in a Hitchcock film, but a very simple story that it tells with it. I just give them kudos for even trying it, because it's complex on an artistic level. And I wouldn't expect the story to be too terribly complicated. And it's not, but it's a good story. It's a solid one, a solid short story. Of course, it breaks all the rules of having these big splash pages with not a lot happening in each one, because you can't. But the artwork is very good. And Redondo kind of took a break, I think, on some of the other issues. I had missed his art. I do believe that he was not in the last maybe 1 or 2 issues. And I thought, oh, he's left the book. But no, I think he was concentrating on this because it would take some concentration. But my review tonight is for something lighthearted, something I thought, for the holiday seasons, Chicken Devil's a little bit dark, but we have Mark Russell coming back for a satirical superhero book again. and it is called One Star Squadron. It is a DC book. Its statistics are DC. It's one of 6, a limited series, $3.99, written by Mark Russell, art by Steve Lieber, colors by Dave Stewart, letters by Dave Sharp. And it is rated maturity level. Excuse me. Maturity level is ages 13 plus. So getting a few looks here at, of course, you've got a very nice cover with Red Tornado and some of the other heroes doing a little bit of a money grab here. It's a clever play on the idea of All-Star Squadron being a legendary team and One Star Squadron being a less than legendary team, I think. We start off with some very bright colors for an ad that you would see televised for Heroes for You. It's HEROZ for you. The affordable heroes. And we go from that to somebody watching the ad in a hospital room. An older man who seems to be somewhat catatonic and saying things. The only things that he really repeats are the words, "Evildoers beware." We get a nice office. It's sort of the style of this reminds me of a cross between Office Space and The Office. For superheroes. So you have the poor put upon boss, the district manager there, Red Tornado, talking to one of his employees, Minuteman. Yeah, Minuteman, kind of like Our Man, but his powers don't last quite so long. So, you know, yeah, the dialogue and the situations will make you laugh. But then the evildoers beware guy, the hospital decides that must be a superhero problem. Somebody that just says that all the time. Besides, we don't know what to do with him, so we'll just dump him out here at the closest place where we know superheroes are, and they'll take care of him. So that's where part of the story begins with this group. They just give him put him in a cab and send him over there. No explanation, no nothing.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. It's very, for a lighthearted and funny book, it also makes some interesting points, which Russell is very adept at doing. So, Mark Russell is a funny guy. He usually brings +1 emotions, though, to accompany the humor. And sometimes they're like satirical calls for change in dystopian futures or animations past, to crafted character studies of unimpressive superheroes who are actually much cleverer and nobler than the PR might suggest. Personally, I've enjoyed Russell's writing on really varied books like Billionaire Island and Wonder Twins and Second Coming, The Terrifics, and Snagglepuss Exit Stage Left. One of his current projects, and one which seems a perfect fit for his style, is Ahoy Comics' My Bad. Brian, BKM, you have talked about this before. That's a superhero spoof satire about the bad life choices costumed people make, usually driven by their egos. Now, that is superheroes and supervillains alike. They're both guilty, as it turns out. So then Russell's new limited series for DC came out on the heels of My Bad. My Bad is what, 2 issues in?
2 issues in, yes.
And we got 1 issue of this now. And the solicitations I read for One Star Squadron sounded equal measures deja and vu for My Bad. One Star Squadron #1 takes us into the world of B-list DC superheroes working for a company called Heroes for You in a coalition and a collision of valor and capitalism. If you have a power or a honed ability, the sort that makes you handy, but not really Justice League material, and if you want to be of service but also earn a living, Heroes for You can meet your needs. People requiring super assistance for anything from a birthday party appearance by somebody in a cape to alien invasions have only to use the company app, and a hero will be on the way for a nominal fee. And the nominalism is depending on the chore itself. It sounds belittling for a superhero reduced to such trivial service for a price duties, but well, many of the staffers like Minuteman are glad for the work and the camaraderie because they've never been part of a prestigious super team. Others, on the other hand, were once headliners before their stardom took a header. The team's general manager is Red Tornado. He falls in that category. Once the toast of Metropolis and a member of the Justice League, he's now working out of a strip mall headquarters of cubicles and assigning his employees the incoming requests. And that staff includes characters like the Heckler, Black Condor, G.I. Robot, Flying Fox, Power Girl, the aforementioned Minuteman, and Hawk and Dove. Gigs can range from security for visiting royals to temp service duty for telemarketing companies. And Red is responsible for keeping customers and employees happy, neither making for the easiest part of his day. He is quite aware that his organization is referred to laughingly as Star Squadron based on Yelp surveys and online chatter. And he works at elevating their public persona by matching the right jobs with the right heroes. Again, not an easy task because some minor heroes have major egos. In that part of the narrative lies the comparisons to My Bad. Red's struggles are humorously presented in that opening convo with Minuteman. He can only have his powers activated for a minute. We don't know if it's a minute per day or what, but the details aren't given. But it severely limits his assignments. Minuteman cannot fathom why this should be, nor why his online app rating is 1.5 out of 5 stars. Never taking for granted it could be due to the superhero-sized chip on his shoulder. So Red tries spinning plates and juggling these prickly personalities gamely. And he also lamely hopes that his organization is the bottom of the heroing barrel, because that way there's nowhere lower he can tumble in trying to earn a steady paycheck. A local hospital adds to Red's burdens by dumping that amnesiac on the company property, a middle-aged fellow who keeps repeating evildoers beware. This apparently qualifies him not as their medical problem. So Red takes him in and soon discovers that he is Jose Delgado. He was once a street-level...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was once a street-level superhero called...
Crime Buster.
Gangbuster.
Gangbuster, that was it, yes. From the Superman books of the 90s.
Yeah. So while trying to locate family or friends who can help care for him, Red leaves office manager Power Girl in charge. Efforts to help Jose hit a dead end, and in the final portion of the story, the reader discovers that someone in the office of Heroes for You is reporting unfavorably about Red Tornado's managing skills to, of course, their main foes, corporate board of directors. So the humor mixture is satirical black comedy, twined with the superhero absurdity of Keith Giffen and Kevin Maguire's run on Justice League in the 1980s. There are plentiful observations about putting superheroes, both lesser and greater, on a consumer grading system. It's the kind of cheek that essential workers and healthcare professionals can identify with after the last 2 years, and that's where the black humor is most prevalent. Russell's creating a world where altruistic heroes, or their more materialistic but underpowered kin, undergo the same kind of stress the public and administration have placed upon the workforce. Sure, you successfully can stem the flood from a failed dam and save countless lives, but if you are rude trying to get an onlooker out of harm's way, you only get a 1-star rating from that ingrate. So Russell makes you feel ashamed for once major heroes, especially like Red Tornado and Power Girl, reduced to rendering Superman-level service at bizarro prices, as the company says.
Nice.
Resentful that a corporate board is profiting from their efforts. There is definite real-life parallels to treatment, poor working conditions, and low wages of many of the current workforce. Everyone from emergency services technicians to nurses and store clerks to delivery drivers. Shabby treatment of those we rely on by their employers and by customers carry its own reward. And the storyline calls it out, though not in as barbed a fashion as some of Russell's other work. At least not yet. We'll see how it goes. Steve Lieber, artist for the Eisner-winning Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen limited series, is in good form here. He is planted squarely between comedic expressions and raw frustration on everybody's face for these characters. Watch him when he renders Red Tornado, a garishly colored android, munching down on a hamburger while arguing with his staffer. It'll make you smile. And then watch him turn right around and depict a sad and broken man who was once a vigilante called Gangbuster trying to find his way home. And those panels will break your heart. Colorist Dave Stewart begins the issue with a bright television commercial, a promotional spot for Heroes for You, which is as upbeat and positive as the company shareholders probably require. The glowing tone matches the many-hued costumes and uniforms of the hero pool on display during that pitch. Stewart retains the same perky coloration for those less positive office politic moments, like someone leaving the studio lights on and following the actors off screen. It's a nice way of showing how, even when for-hire superheroes aren't on, the company considers them on and still a reflection of the outfit they work for. The tones grow darker and more back-alley appropriate in the second half of the book as Red tries to find Gangbuster's family. There's no phony studio lighting positivity there, just dangerous streets that once called a young, heroic man to take action when he saw his neighbors suffering and their sons and daughters victimized by crime. Letterer Dave Sharp puts in a bouquet of beautiful font designs for business cards, customer rating screens, tote boards, magazine covers, and employee awards. I'm sorry, he does not have any real sound effects for this book, but his dialogue lettering is smooth and flowing, and those designs and special lettering looks are so organic. You may have to give the book a second read like I did to find all the golden nuggets that he's provided throughout, because he's just littered them all through there, and they're great. If you like Mark Russell and Steve Lieber's previous work, it's hard to imagine you not enjoying One Star Squadron, in the premiere issue at least. They give us humorous relationships and exchanges enhanced by equally comical depictions. If you like superheroes being utilized to make wry commentary on modern society and capitalism, you'll also probably like how this limited series begins. If you enjoy seeing second-string heroes getting the chance to eventually shine and maybe dole out surprising defeats to their enemies, again, I think you're probably going to enjoy the book because Russell writes comeuppance really well. But if you dislike any of the above, or if you don't mind them, but you want action worked into the mix, you may find that this title is not your cuppa. It's much more of an Office Space or The Office with superpowers told from a darker humor. No splash page battles, no explosions, just heroes trying to do good consumer service, help humanity, climb the corporate ladder by snitching on their bosses, and making a few bucks. And in at least one instance, helping a former hero get back home. So, as for the near concurrent Russell scripting of My Bad and One Star Squadron indicating perhaps too many trips to the same or only marginally different wells, I don't think it's going to be an issue. One of his strengths is digging deep on differing details for similar themes. Also, Ahoy will likely let him romp wide and wild on the topics in their satire, while DC, if history is any indicator, will limit his free-range lampooning. Those factors alone should make for contrasting final products. Not every comics pro can do satirical superheroing well. Russell has done it before, and always while making the reader think between the chortles. Many of his most absurd commentaries about superpowered beings and their role in the world are laughable because they mirror the absurdities of us in our own world, just with the additional curse or blessings of powers. If any creative team can represent the best of that subgenre for DC, I think it's this collaboration. So, my Heroes for You customer rating for One Star Squadron #1 is 7.5 stars out of 10.
Nice.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Clyde, once again, you make me poorer.
Yeah, I think I overlooked this at the store, and I actually meant to pick this up. So I may have to go back and see if they still have it. Because I'm a Mark Russell fan. Because I'm a
yeah. And I was really concerned after you talked about My Bad. I'm like, it really sounds a lot like this, but I can see where I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, no, he's being a lot more serious, and it hurts your heart to see the heroes of DC, so these big heroes done this way. All the heroes in My Bad are original, and they're meant to be completely lampooned and silly. Well, all these are not, and I can see the differences very quickly. And there's nobody better for analyzing the superhero from a funny but thoughtful standpoint than Russell, I don't think. Not right now, anyway.
That's true. And if you really want to see really serious Russell, I believe he's the writer on Dead Box. which is an ongoing horror story that is written magnificently. It is really good. So anyway, thank you, Clyde. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's awesome, Clyde.
Yeah, pardon me. Paul Bush reminds us that Michael Pare from The Greatest American Hero was in Eddie and Eddie and the Cruisers. Also, Ellen Barkin, Matthew Lawrence, who was on Saturday Night Live for one season, Tom Berenger, and Joe Pantoliano. I know this because I'm looking at the Wikipedia. I'm looking at the Wikipedia entry. So.
Good old Joey Pants.
Joey Pants. Now, he was in a movie that I don't think gets enough love. I would love to find it in DVD at least. And it was released a little after this. It was with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, and it was called Running Scared.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was a super, super funny film.
Good buddy cop movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like a younger version of Lethal Weapon, where except in this case, both of them wanted to retire.
Yeah.
And it was just like one liner after another. Like,
what do you gentlemen think you're going to do? You're cops for 10 years. You're not fit to do anything else. What do you think you're going to do? Run a bar? And they had been talking about opening a bar right before they went to talk to their supervisor.
or what is it when Joey Pants has the briefcase full of money, and he tells the cops, "You can't do anything to me. You can't do anything to me." And so they go, the cops go out on the landing of his second-story apartment and yell out into the worst part of the neighborhood, "This man has a briefcase full of $250,000. Now we're leaving. We are the police. We are leaving. Now, if something were to happen to him."
Yeah.
Or the lineup. Remember the lineup? It was Joey Pants up there, and they bring out there's a standard lineup of about 6 guys. One is Joey Pants. The other 4 are uniformed policemen. And Gregory Hines was like talking to Billy Crystal, "Ma'am, can you identify the man that attacked you?" And he's like, "That's the one up there in the middle." Oh yeah, it's a great movie. I love that thing. So
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it now. I haven't seen it
I think
in a
my
long
favorite
time.
Joey Pants movie though is Bad Boys. Bad Boys 2 specifically.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think.
See, anytime someone says Bad Boys, my first reaction is the Sean Penn movie.
Oh, no, that is not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I have to remember, there was that Will Smith one.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and I think there was a movie about 6-7 years ago called Running Scared, and it was completely no relation to the earlier one. And it's like, but this other one is damn near perfect. Why are you stealing their title, you bastards? So yeah. So anyway, thank you, Paul Bush, for that. And 1 star sounds interesting, says non-comic book reader Carl Witzman. So when Carl says that sounds interesting,
high praise. Thank you, sir.
High praise indeed. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we've got the therapy ready for him. We'll make him a comic fan.
All I have to say is,
and this is what a
write
full
a paper
bottle looks like.
Ooh.
And soon it will find its twin with the other one, right? Probably by the time you get on Chester Busby's show tonight, right?
It's a coffee liqueur infused with Australian vodka.
Ooh.
Oh, Mr. Black?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Brian's
so
going to make a trip to, and I mean this Brian is going to go to the liquor store tomorrow.
It's good in coffee and
Merry
makes spectacular
Christmas.
White Russians.
Ooh, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and here's something
Shooting it
that,
up.
as long as we're talking about alcohol, when I was down for HalloCon, I found a bottle of the Kraken Black Gold, which was the coffee-infused rum. And hopefully that means they're making more this year. So, I've been doling that out like it was plasma or something. Something rare and precious. And you don't get one if you ain't worthy. So, anyway, thank you, Clyde, for that great review. Thank you all, gentlemen. And we had a question from Ryan Permison earlier that there is a new feature in StreamYard. And Brian, I'm sure you knew about this since you run the Dastardly Dingoes board, where you can put a star. You can click on a star by a comment that we can see.
And we can see the starred one too.
Yeah. See, so we're coming back to this, and this is a good question. It's something we probably should take a moment to think about. So I will speak in a meandering manner, so you guys can come up with a cogent answer. What comics are you all looking forward to next year? Now, I will put in a caveat that we probably don't know for certain what comics are, aside from the regular monthly or quarterly, bi-monthly titles next year, aside from Zombie the World of Oz #4. So thus, we don't need to know anything more, except maybe Memoirs of an Angel and the Nebulizer #2, because Paul Bush demands it. But anyway, but no, we really only can be certain of comics about 3 months from now, or at least 97%,
which would be next year.
Which would be next year. Very good. Which is why I said that. But anyway, so a lot of what we have would be probably conjectures. So now that I've delayed long enough for you guys, see, I did a masterful job of that, if I do say so myself. Well done, what titles are you looking forward to next year?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead, please, Brian.
I am looking forward to, obviously, I want to keep it far away so you can't all see. I'll just see. There you go. There's another individual in Hell.
Oh, yeah.
In the Hellboy universe still. And we will be revisiting him next year. And I'm excited about that because I think that's going to be, the continuation of the main storyline of Hellboy. But I am getting almost completely caught up with Headlopper by Andrew Mclean. And I got to tell you, I am loving this series. And I am really looking forward to that. And I don't really want to say it because I'm afraid if we utter it, it'll go away quickly, because that just seems to be what it's like anymore with this title. And I cannot wait for Saga to finally come back from its 3-year hiatus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have the big fat omnibus that has every issue currently out, and now we've just been waiting for. I'm gonna have to reread it because I don't remember half of it anymore. Which is not. I mean, hey, I'll do that. That's great punishment for me. But because I think Saga. When I in 2019, I posted and said that, and I mean it still, that Saga was, in my opinion, the most prolific comic book series that came out in the 2010s, in my opinion. I think it broke all the right rules. It was an amazing story that just continued to get better. It had wonderful social commentary, and we need more. Please, Brian K. Vaughan, get your crap together.
Stop writing for TV.
Right. I don't care if it pays more. And also, I do have to say, I am very much looking forward to Zombie for World of Oz. I really am.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I loved the first 3 issues, and I'm very much looking forward to it again. Yeah.
The first 3 will now be offered in a trade paperback.
Ooh.
Issue 4, I am contemplating doing a limited run of metal covers.
Well,
ooh, nice.
How fancy.
Bladed weaponry. Maybe we should get Nick Tucker to review it.
The whole comic bladed.
It slices, it dices, it makes thousands of julienne fries.
I don't know what I'm looking forward to next year. I'd like to see some more stuff from Scotty Young as a writer, not an artist. My favorite book probably of all year was Geiger. And it kind of ended, so I'd like to see more of that. Otherwise, I don't know what's really on the horizon out there, you got Zombiful Adventures featuring Tom Sawyer, which will probably come out next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you heard it here first.
That's right.
Woo-hoo!
Broke a story here.
I don't know. I mean, really, Geiger was my favorite book last year, followed closely by the Me You Love in the Dark. Me You Love in the Dark, was that what it was?
Oh, that was
Which I love so much, except for the ending was like I would like more from the ending. But I'd like to see more from Scotty Young. I need to go back see the other series him and that artist worked on. I don't know what else is out there for me. I mean, obviously not any Cullen Bunn books.
So I'll be starting an Indiegogo
out.
help Eric buy more Cullen Bunn books.
And actually, so we got one more week in the year after this. So we have a show next week. Then the following week, are we going to do a year in review show? What we liked best about the year?
Well, I was thinking we could do it next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kind of close things out. In fact, I wrote it down here while Brian was talking because I thought of it earlier. And
that's what I thought. I thought of it while Brian was talking too.
It's what I'm here
so
for,
we're not
guys.
really listening to Brian. We're thinking of ideas.
All I'm here for is to vamp so you all can think of something better to say. That is my.
And obviously, I'm looking
here.
for the nebulizer number 2 next year. I mean, that's high on my list.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
It is coming.
And
it is coming with
more beanies from Brian.
Yes.
Yeah.
More beanies.
I think I've got Cookie talked into letting me buy one.
I'm almost. I'm almost considering like just starting up. So like Andrew Mclean, I talk about him a lot. He's slowly becoming my Mike Mignola Part 2. I really like what his business method is because he published a book through Dark Horse, which is great. It's called Apocalyptic Girl, fantastic. And he also is doing headlopper for Image Comics, but he does a merchandise website, and he just does design work and puts it on hoodies and beanies and mugs. And I'm honestly thinking about starting that up next year for brianrodman.com. Just start, just kind of the website that you have, Eric, that you put all your design work on that we got, the comic book spectrum.
Oh, that was Teespring, but I also do stuff on Zazzle as well.
Okay,
check out Zazzle.
I will.
They print everything for you. All you do is provide the designs. You don't know fulfillment and stuff. People buy stuff. You get commission.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a big commission, but you can set it to whatever you want. But of course, the higher you set it, the higher they got to charge, and the less options of selling it. I think Teespring's a better option for that, for just shirts and stuff. Zazzle, if you want to do like all the stuff you've been putting out, the weekly drawings you've been doing, which very, very Mike Mignola-esque.
Thanks. Yeah.
The first one I thought was Mike Mignola.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Yeah, so those would be probably pretty cool on like cards or something like that.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Zazzle does cards, invitations, stuff like that. Clocks you can even do. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Zazzle has a large variety of stuff you can check out.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about going ahead. I know we talked about it. I think actually, Brian, I think you're the one that put this idea in my head. Was to you inceptioned me. You dastardly man. It was indeed, and it was beautiful though. Don't worry.
It was.
No, it's to continue this work project that I'm doing with Advent, but really just follow the liturgical calendar and produce art pieces for each kind of liturgical event. And I may do that actually.
Yeah, it's beautiful work. You've done beautiful work with that. I've left him speechless and motionless too.
Oh, you froze him up. Let me look. Oh, I think you had an attack. You made him laugh.
Oh no, we
So,
killed
Clyde, what are you looking forward to next?
Yeah, Clyde, how about you?
While Brian's gathering his thoughts over here.
I'm looking forward to seeing Brian move again and breathe.
He'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Well,
okay. Well. Okay, to say that I'm looking forward to this is like is a double-edged sword. They're going to do a series, a limited series starting in January of the Justice League versus the Legion of Superheroes. And those are teams that I can be all in for. But the writer is going to be a certain former Marvel stalwart that kind of did his own version of the Legion that left me and everybody else terribly underwhelmed about everything that he's done.
I think the term you're searching for is unreadable.
So they're going to let Brian Michael Bendis, or they said that he's probably, since he's doing Justice League right now, and he did the latest incarnation of LSH, they're probably going to let Bendis do it. And I don't know that it's been announced fully, but that was the speculation. So
I'm seeing ads for it already.
Okay, so my expectations, they're tempered. I like the idea. I don't know. But Devil's Reign over at Marvel, I want to see how that continues on. The same Nice House on the Lake is hit its hiatus of halfway through. I can't see it. What does it say?
Okay, hold on. I'll give me full screen. Give me a moment here.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Color me.
His enthusiasm is tempered even more.
Color me hopeful, but not expectant of quality. Yeah. But Devil's Reign at Marvel is good. Nice House on the Lake with James Tynion IV. That is on hiatus. He's got like a little pause halfway through the 12-issue limited series. I really want to see how that plays out. And I think it's next year. I thought it was going to be still this month, but I haven't seen it in my stacks, my pulls. 7 Swords that I reviewed, and the last issue, the final one, and maybe the lead into a new episode, a new series of it is coming out. And those are the ones that on the short term I'm looking forward to. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking here because I thought I saw something from Brian.
Yeah, he's trying to get back up. His internet went down.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Oh, looks like there's a new Ghost Rider series coming out next year.
Yeah, I read about that.
Well,
I didn't even know that.
Well, I will say for myself, of course, and I'm not saying this simply because we're all here, but I definitely am looking forward to the Zombieful World of Oz, future issues of that. And as well as the Nebulizer, and seriously, I am, and also Nebulizer and Memoirs of an Angel, because I think those are 3 incredible.
Captain
titles.
Carter might be something I'm interested in when it comes out.
Okay.
I forgot they announced that last week or the week before that they're going to do a Captain Carter comic book, based on the What If Disney series with Peggy Carter becoming Captain America or Captain Britain. Well, Captain Carter.
That should be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one series called Ultra Jack, which is a continuation of the Ultraman titles. They came out. It's the next guy in the line of succession.
Ultra Jack. I'm just being.
That's why I'm trying to move on as quickly as possible. He doesn't hold his hands like this, but never mind. But no,
I giggle. You take it one step further.
I take it one step too far, is what it is. But no, I'm looking forward to that because I enjoyed the Ultraman limited runs a lot more than I thought I would. Where it's kind of sort of keeping in continuity with the Japanese TV show, but not keeping in continuity and building something really good. And it keeps in the spirit of the original Ultraman stuff. And like I said, the next one is Ultra Jack, which means we've got about 38 more Ultra people to go through. And I'm not exaggerating with that number. So, but no, I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to future issues of. Let me look at what I've got on my subscription. Looking forward to another trade paperback of Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries because I've really enjoyed the first one. Impossible Jones has been good. Most of the other titles, I'm hoping next year we see another series of Batman 89. I hope Batman Adventures continue and Batman and Superman 78. Plus, I'm also interested in watching where Superman, son of Kal-El, goes, because that's been very enjoyable. And it's got the right balance of action and intrigue and a little bit of social justice in it without, really bashing you in the face with it. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And notice, folks, I've got one Marvel comic, the Ultra Jack, on my list. So
it's not really
I'm hoping
Marvel, though.
It's Marvel-ish. It's produced by Marvel.
I liked the recent Hawkeye series so much, I might go pick up that new series, Hawkeye Kate Bishop, that's out. I think the second issue came out this week, so I might go back and pick that up. This TV series was so good.
If anybody out there that hasn't seen it, if you have Disney Plus or you're thinking about you got to, for the holidays. Is there a better way for a comic book fan to spend the holidays in that series, Eric?
Nope, it's perfect. It is perfect.
And it provides there are moments that provide real showcases for the acting chops of some of the up and coming new characters. I'm thinking specifically of Yelena.
I liked her much better in the series than I did the Black Widow movie. Because it seemed like she was just full of one-liners, and she was like the comedy relief, even though that should have been the Red Guardian. But in the movie, it was just one-liner after one-liner. But this, I mean, she was really good at. Especially the scenes with her and Kate Bishop together. Oh my!
Yes, can't take your eyes off of them. You cannot take your eyes off them. They are so good, and that she does the Russian accent. She seems Russian, much more than Natasha did. It's just man, it's good stuff.
I'm waiting for Rogers the musical to be like an NBC thing, like they've done with South Pacific. And,
well, I tell you, after it's kind of a spoiler, but not really. After the final episode of Hawkeye this week, the after credit scene was the full Broadway production of one of the songs from Rogers.
I heard about
which
that.
Is pretty
I
cool.
think it's genius.
I would have wanted something else, but it was cool.
Well, let's see here. We've got some more comments here. And Ryan Permisson, again, thank you very much for your comment. That was a very cool question. And Lynn Bush says, I know it's Paul will be signing up for, and Paul confirms I will be ordering the trade paperback. That didn't take long. And game over, they killed Brian.
Yeah, Brian's still a little fuzzy there. He's there, but
yeah, Brian is having internet problems, it sounds like.
But he's breathing. I'm happy.
Now he's pretending to freeze, but
or
maybe he's not.
Well, I think he started to, but now he's
he pretended, but he actually did.
He's like, crap, they caught me.
Look.
Oh, Luna!
Luna, the star of the show. We are just
Luna shoot up
Luna here.
He's so happy right now.
Has everybody here seen Spider-Man?
Hello.
No, I have not. I know what happens, though.
It is so good.
I even read the spoilers.
I won't spoil it, but it is great. It was great. It was so good.
Well, yesterday I saw that the teaser trailer for the new Doctor Strange movie dropped.
Yeah,
and I'm on board.
Which, if you've seen the teaser trailer for the Doctor Strange, that is the second after credit scene in Spider-Man. So if you go see it, don't stay for the second after credit scene now. Because you've already seen it
before the rush begins.
That was honestly, that was kind of disappointing for me. That it was just a trailer.
I was like, this is just a trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it, but I was like, I wanted something else.
Yeah, it was still
like
cool,
the Rogers musical number. I liked it, but I wanted something else.
Right.
Oh man, that's funny. And Carl Westman says, "Great show, good show, guys. See you later." Hey, Carl, give Joe Dog our love. We know you're heading to Stupid O'Clock, which is starting right now. If you're watching us live on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, followed by Dan Holofield's Last Man Standing. So have a good time, Carl. We'll probably catch you over there. So, but anyway, do you guys have anything else to bring up this week?
Book of Boba Fett starts next week.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. And Brian's either really lost in thought or
he's
lost
really
his
thinking
internet.
hard there.
Yeah. He's going to sprain something. And Lynn Bush says, you guys have a good night. My bed is calling. Night Orko. Mwah! I love you, even Lynn. Night Clyde, night Brian, and night Eric. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for being here. We love you, honey. And you and Paul have a great evening.
Brian just did some Max Headroom movements there. It was like,
yeah.
Was that too old a reference for people?
I was going to say, no. Brian's like, who the hell is this Max Headroom you speak of? Well, anyway, it sounds like we have reached the end of this program here, and Paul Bush says it all for all of us. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas to you and Lynn and your whole family.
Merry Christmas.
Very, very cool. So, that's right. Yes, and I'm not the jolly fat man. I'm the very cynical fat man. But anyway, so I think this is a good time to bring the show to a close. What do you think, guys?
I think so.
Sounds good.
Bing,
all right.
Bing, bing.
Yes, let's get Brian while he's still here, while he still has an internet.
Right.
Saying, yeah, Brian, I'm sorry, man. But anyway, Brian, tell everybody how they can keep track of the amazing things you do and who you are.
Well, I am once again Brian Rodman, and I'm all over the place. Just go to BrianRodman.com.
Or don't.
And from there,
so go to BrianRodman.com to find anything about Brian.
Yeah.
He's also one quarter of the Dastardly Dingoes. Take it.
What's happening?
You're...
I am 1/3 of the podcast. And before I'm...
We're laughing
go to
with you,
BrianRodman.com.
Brian.
That's it. I bet.
Go to BrianRodman.com and follow all of Brian's amazing adventures.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going through because on my end. Okay.
25% of the Dastardly, and they are privileged this week. And I'm reading Brian's thoughts. He would say, if he were able to do this, that really privileged because the other all five members of the Comic Book Spectrum crew will be there, including the one, the only Joe D. McPhee, and he's gone. Anyway, Brian, we love you, man. Go to BrianRodman.com and please follow him and sign up for the Dastardly Dingoes YouTube page. And there's Joe D. McPhee going, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me? Anyway,
warm up the computer, Joe.
Yeah, hang out, Joe. The call may go out tonight. The Joe signal may shine yet. Anyway, let's go to Pro Slayer Hawkins. Eric, how can they keep up with you as you're playing?
Hey, follow me on Twitter, ES_Hawkins, or follow me on Facebook under various names: Stone Door Studios, Zombie for World of Oz, Eric S. Hawkins, Eric Scott Hawkins, Eric Hawkins, or I'm even on Instagram. I've actually posted a couple Instagram pictures recently, which I haven't done in a long time. Social media, I hate it, but it's needed. It's a self-promote. It is needed. I just hate it. But for everybody, for the holidays and Christmas, I'm going to shield for Netflix here for a second. If you haven't seen the Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell,
yes,
there's two movies out. Yeah, they're great. And Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn together. Oh, just perfect. Go watch those. And Klaus, if you haven't seen Klaus on there, that's like 2 years old now, but it's still a beautiful animated movie about Christmas. And, that's it. Everybody have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and have a safe weekend.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Eric, as always.
No, thank you.
Now, are you on Chester's show tonight?
Yeah, we're on tonight. And last week? Yeah, I made last week for Anne Rice night, which I thought was going to be Christmas night. But tonight we're doing Christmas theme, which I already have a sketch done with a kind of a buff Santa with some warrior nutcrackers jumping over him, and
wow.
And be sure to vote for Eric once that show is done. Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, and Clyde Hall, how can people keep up with you, sir?
Well, I am Clyde Hall, and I am an independent author. I'm also the number one fan, in a misery kind of way, of Brian K. Morris and Brian Rodman and Eric Hawkins. And I am looking forward to all of the new materials that they are putting out, some of the things that I am conspiring with them on for 2022. But check out the Continuing Adventures of the Nebulizer from Brian Rodman and the Zombie for World of Oz from Eric Hawkins. I created a character called B-Man for Pulp Reality #1, a new pulp anthology at Stormgate Press. He's called B-Man, and his adventures have continued since Pulp Reality #1 became the 2020 winner of 2 Pulp Factory Awards.
Yay.
Pulp Reality #2 and #3 are now available, each with their own B-Man tale and the entertaining mix of new pulp stories. What would you do as the owner of a rundown cinema circa 1966 when you discovered the ability to become any B-movie character ever featured on your theater screen? You can find out what B-Man does in all the Pulp Reality books. 1, 2, and 3 available now at www.stormgatepress.com or on Amazon. Every Thursday night, you can find me with my fellow comic book reviewers right here, unwrapping the festive holiday cheer that is each new episode of Comic Book Spectrum. And until we meet again in these hallowed halls, a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from my home to yours.
Nicely said, Clyde. Thank you very much, sir. All right. And I'm Brian K. Morris, sitting in front of his wrinkly green screen that we're going to fix. I'm an author right now, Sandestein. Please check it out on Amazon. Lots of good stuff in there, good all year round. Among other books, please go to Amazon.com, also risingtide.pub, where you can find all my links, and you can sign up for my free monthly newsletter and see most current episodes of when we were doing Clever Tile Penning, which we should probably be bringing back in late January, maybe early February. And I'm working on some comic stuff right now, editing a book for Glenn Fleming and writing stuff for Stormgate Press. But 2022, I'll be concentrating on a lot of stuff for Rising Tide publications. And reading more comics and reviewing them on here, I'm glad to say. And we hope you'll stay tuned next week. We're going to have a great show for you. But first, we got to get the attitude of gratitude out of the way. And of course, we're always grateful to Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. And whether it's the physical paperback or hardcover, or whether it's the social media graphics that you're going to need to sell the book, contact Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics. He can handle the whole gig for you at indie creator prices, you'll be glad to know. Check out the Plasma Fire Graphics page on Facebook, and then go to plasmafiregraphics.com on the interwebs and find out what that guy's charging. Believe me, it's indie creator friendly. Very friendly rates, and he's great to work with. I'm working with him right now on something for Stormgate Press, in fact. So that's they sponsored this episode. We're grateful to them all year round. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. I want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Don't forget, Stupid O'Clock follows this show. Following that will be Last Man Standing, and we'll be back tomorrow for Nevermind the Furthermore and a full day of broadcasting. We've got your entertainment and enlightenment covered 7 days a week. Please check out what we've got here. And don't forget, like every week, we got Comic Book Spectrum. And don't forget Dr. John, the original gangster, Wednesday afternoon. Plus, we've got George Saray and Keisha Acuff doing audio podcasts for us now. Great stuff on the network. Please check us out, and please give us a like on Facebook, if you would, please. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy any part of it. And also, we also have a Patreon page. These people are actively supporting the Rising Tide mission and keeping this show and our other broadcast efforts on the air. So our sincerest thanks to them. And if you want to see your name on here, check out what I'm offering in support in exchange for your direct financial support at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And so as I line up the next graphic here, I want to thank everyone for being here. Don't forget, next week we're going to talk about our favorite comics of 2021. And I think we should also talk about the ones we like the least. All right. And let's see if I can get through the whole episode without mentioning that damn Checkmate book. But anyway, thank you all for being here as always. And we hope you have a wonderful, safe, and happy Christmas or whatever holiday that you favor. And as Kinky Friedman used to say, may you be blessed by the God of your choice. And so, as always, thank you for being here on Comic Book Spectrum. And as I get the next graphic lined up, thank you for being here. And as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a safe and Merry Christmas, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you next week on the the pre-New Year's edition of Clever Top, or not Clever Top, I'm stuck on that, the Comic Book Spectrum. Have a great Christmas, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Please join us next week for another look at comics, past, present, and future. If you enjoyed this, please give the show a like and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. To receive our free monthly newsletter, go to www.risingtide.pub and be sure to give the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook a like in order to receive news about upcoming shows including Clever Title Pending, Stupid O'Clock, Clever as Hail, Comics Chaos and Sass, Tidbits and Scribbles, the Historical Fencing Guild, and never mind the Furthermore. See you next week.